Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today, it's Mace Windu time. This is pretty cool. We've got a really nice preview of Mace Windu that AMG dropped, and he looks pretty awesome. So I'm excited to talk about him. We've seen him kind of loosely previewed at Adepticon. We saw the sculpt at least. He's also coming with some clones and pawns and his own clone unit. But really, I think the centerpiece for this party's over pack that he's coming in is this man himself, Mace Windu. Absolutely love this sculpt. It feels a lot more like a Tartakovsky Clone Wars animated series inspired Mace Windu look, more so than the films. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this Mace Windu sculpt here, from the way that they've implemented him. It looks really good though, and it's also really cool to finally get Mace Windu, who is I guess the inspiration for the name of the game. There was a book in the EU or in Legends called Shatterpoint that was all about Mace Windu's ability with the Force to see Shatterpoints. A Shatterpoint in the book was described as, a weakness in your opponent's defenses. They might have impenetrable armor all around, but if you find that one weak spot, that one perfect spot, that could make the whole thing shatter, right? So that's kind of the idea of what his specialty with the Force was to find shatter points. Not just necessarily in armor, but also in maybe a plan. Maybe an enemy's defensive strategy. I can see your shatter point. And your shatter point is you always lead with your left foot or something like that, right? And sometimes it would be to get in the heads of the opponent. Your shatter point, Anakin Skywalker's if I talk about Padme or something like that. So that's kind of Mace Windu's thing, and that was the kind of the thing about that book and what led to the creation of the game. And of course, the game wasn't, it was named that. They already had the game system, and then Will Schick talked about this quite a bit in our interview. If you guys haven't seen that, it was a really cool interview where we talked a lot about the about Shatterpoint and how it came to pass. And he has a really great story about how they decided on Shatterpoint as a name. So you should check that out. Maybe I'll put a link to that at the end of the video so you can check that out if you guys are into Shatterpoint. If you're not into Shatterpoint, I also cover lots of other Star Wars tabletop games. Be sure to stick around. We're doing a $50 Amazon gift card giveaway right now. You can win yourself a copy of Mace Windu. That is running all throughout the end of this month. We'll be announcing the winner of that the first week of August. So you have plenty of time left to enter. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. If you're already subscribed, you're already halfway there. Let me know some of your favorite Star Wars Jedi or Sith or lightsaber wielders down in the comments below. We are going to talk about some of this awesome stuff because Mace Windu just looks awesome. We've got the unit card here. He is the first 6-point character in Star Wars Shatterpoint. This is a big deal. This means he's heavily restricted on who you can bring with him. And that might mean that you have to think long and hard about if you want to bring Mace Windu. But while that 6 points is going to be much of a limiting factor, that also means that he's got to make up for it somehow. And we're going to talk about how he makes up for that. I want to thank today's sponsor real quick, Luxury Playstyle. They make full metal tokens, fully compatible with games like Star Wars Legion, Star Wars X-Wing, a lot of other games, even Magic the Gathering. A lot of awesome damage tokens, too. How many times have you been playing Shatterpoint, especially if you're sharing one core set and using the tokens across, and you get low on damage tokens? I love Luxury Playstyle's damage tokens. And if you guys have ever checked out these tokens before, I've got great news. The Crabbok tokens, the limited edition Crabbok tokens, are back in stock. So while supplies last, any code that uses my discount code here. Now, this is, if you use code Crabbok VIP, you're going to save 15%. Any order that uses this code, $35 or more, is going to get a free Crabbok lightsaber nunchuck token thrown in. So definitely check them out. There's never been a better time. It's got the C on the front. It's got the 5 on the back. It's got lightsaber nunchucks on the token. It's actually a great damage counter token too. If you're doing like higher damage games, like Shatterpoint it's perfect for Shatterpoint, and you can use it for any of your games. So really cool token. Definitely check out luxuryplaystyle.com. They have amazing tokens, and I think you're gonna love them. So definitely check those out. All right, so Mace Windu, 6 points. He is a 4 force point character, so you're getting a good amount of force with him. That kind of helps make up for it a little bit. He is a force user. He is a Galactic Republic, and he is a Jedi. He has 11 health, 3 stamina, so he's probably not gonna die. You know, he has some pretty cool abilities. So he's got when you activate him, you rush to action. At the start of this unit's activation, choose another allied Galactic Republic unit. Each character in that unit, and each character in this unit and in the chosen unit may advance. I'm sorry, that's a dash. But you're going to be able to move with both of these guys, right? So each character in this unit and each character in the chosen unit. So he gets a free dash at the start of his activation before he even has to take any actions. That's huge for a melee character. Absolutely huge. Really, really good to possibly consider pairing him with other characters that give free moves. I can definitely see, granted, you're going to be heavily restricted on who you can put in his squad. But for the other half of the strike team and the other squad, I'm definitely thinking about Padawan Ahsoka. Definitely strongly considering, other characters that can let Jedi move. That's going to be a big deal. But yeah, so that's a good, and also he lets somebody else move. Great if you want to tag team with another. I wish list time. I want to see Depa Balaba to go pair with Mace Windu. Just let me know who you think would be really cool to pair Mace Windu with. But I want to see Depa Balaba. Again, it goes back to the Shatterpoint book. She was his Padawan. So they have a little bit of history there. At least in Legends. I'm not sure if it is still canon or not. So, but still, it's a cool story, and it has some. And that's the cool thing about this game is you can kind of bring those stories you want to the table, whether they're canon or not, or if it's just a fantasy, or if it's just your dream team, you can do that. He has Tempered Aggression, which is reactive. When a character in this unit makes an attack after all attack dice and defense dice have been rolled, this unit may spend any number of force to reroll a miss in the attack roll for each force spent. That's awesome. There's not much rerolls out there. The Obi-Wan Kenobi pack, Cody has something that can let a little bit of rerolling happen, but this one's letting you reroll all of your misses. Well, within reason. I mean, you're going to spend a lot of force that way. But typically, I don't usually get more than 2 misses on an attack, unless, of course, I'm filming, and then, of course, my dice betray me. But no, that's a really. I mean, he's all about getting in there and trying to kill somebody. I think he's a unit removal machine. He has the Shatterpoint ability. Will Schick did say that Mace Windu was going to have an ability called Shatterpoint, and it is an interesting ability. So this has 2 different effects. So when he's chosen to activate with a Shatterpoint card, so you have to be using your Shatterpoint card to activate Mace Windu. If his active stance is Form 7 Vapad, and we're going to look at the stances here in a minute. Well, that's his more offensive stance. Jedi Master stance is his slightly more defensive stance. But if he's in Vapad, he immediately makes a focus action, and he gains Impact 2. And what that basically means is focus gives you an extra die when you attack. Impact 2 means if you're focusing, you're going to have 2 extra dice. So basically, when he melee attacks, he's going to get 3 extra dice when he melee attacks if you have activated him with a Shatterpoint card. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's better than Obi-Wan's ability, because Obi-Wan kind of has something very, very similar. With the hello there thing, but he has to spend a force to kind of make it happen. But it's still cool. but yeah, but this one doesn't require a force to be spent to do it. Although you'll probably spend some force on tempered aggression because you roll in as many dice, and he can roll a lot. You roll as many dice as this dude can. Oh, and by the way, I'm not doing an unboxing for this particular expansion, but I definitely had to pick up another dice pack. And it's characters like this with adding, oh, let's add 3 extra dice to this attack. Okay, sure. You know, like I mean, I don't have that many dice. so many times I'm like I need more dice. So definitely pick up a dice pack. But if he's not in Form 7 Vapad when you activate him with the Shatterpoint card, if he's in his Jedi Master stance, you can still get to do something. You get to refresh 2 force, and he can heal 3 times. So that's cool. I think the Vapad is kind of the way to kind of run him, but you know, and I don't think he really needs to heal as much. I think the healing 3 times is there to get rid of maybe negative status effects that might be on him. Like you definitely don't want him exposed, or to heal other units that might be close by to him also. And then you also have this party's over. While a character in this unit is engaged, all Galactic Republic characters within 5 have steadfast and protection. That's pretty cool. You know, it makes me think I don't want to pair him with like 501st and units that might already have those abilities. And it makes me think that his clones probably won't have those abilities, and they're probably both going to be 3s. They kind of both have to be 3s, otherwise you can't use them. Like, it's supposed to be a squad pack, and if you can't run the squad pack as a squad, you know. So obviously Pons and the other clones that come with him are going to be 3 points each. I mean, that's my guess. I think that's a pretty fair guess. But he looks like he's going to be very interesting. Well, let's look at his stances so we can see how much damage. First of all, let's look at the Jedi Master stance. No range attacking on this guy. He is melee all the way. So Jedi Master has a really good defensive. First off, 6 defense dice is really good. If you have cover, you're gonna be rolling more. If you get up on a platform. Now I'll point out, by the way, that he doesn't have force jump, he doesn't have force speed, but he's got rush to action, which makes up for that. You're getting that free dash, plus somebody else could give you some dashing. He's giving himself and somebody else, movement. So that kind of makes up for it. So you can kind of afford to just do a movement action to climb or whatever you got to do if that happens. If he can attack somebody on the ground, then even better, because then he can maybe jump up afterwards. So speaking of jumping up, the Jedi Master is going to help him do that a little bit. He's got 6 melee attack dice, 6 defense dice, and 6 ranged defense dice for 6 basically defense dice for ranged and melee. His offensive chart's not bad. He gets crits for all of his diamonds. His defensive diamonds are going to give him just 1, gives him a block and turns an opponent's hit into a miss, which is awesome. So you're already like that's already better than rolling a block normally. If you get 2, you're getting a block, you're turning a crit into a miss, and a hit into a miss. Like, really, really good expertise chart for his defense in Jedi Master. Incredibly defensive, very cool. For his hits, for his successes, for that combat tree, your first hit is a push, your second hit is a push. So 2 pushes right away from melee, that's awesome. Then he's got an expose on the top, some more damage, and a jump, or you can go down and get another push. You can do a third consecutive push if you go the bottom track. You can get a couple of damage. You can go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible damage out of that tree, which is not too shabby. And you only need 5 successes to make it happen. Not a bad, your chances of making that happen are pretty good, considering that you've got 6 dice, probably be rolling 3 extra, and you can re-roll blanks. Very cool, very cool. But Form 7 Vapad. This is nice. So a little bit less defense dice. You got 5 and 5, which still is not bad. 7 attack dice. By the way, there's only 8 in the 8 attack dice in the core game. So this is asking you to roll 2 extra. I'm sorry, 3 extra, 10, or so 2 more than you have. So it's just, very cool. So lightsaber, it's got crits. Again, it's the same. It's the same chart for his offensive stuff. His defense is still pretty good in Form 7 Vapad. There's not that much difference there until we look at the combat tree. You've got a lot of different starting places. You can take a negative effects, and I think if you're going against somebody, if you're going against an enemy's primary that maybe you're not going to be able to completely wound them on this attack, you can say, okay, well, let's make you bleeding and then give you exposed and then pin you. And he's got every single negative status effect that he can put on him is there. But alternatively, you can go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage for only 2 successes. 8, 9, 10, 11 damage this guy can do, and then he can reposition on top of that if you get all of those, and that only takes 6 successes to do 11 damage. You'll be rolling at least 10 dice probably with this guy. That's an insane amount of damage that he can do with only 6 successes. He's a hunter killer. Is basically the way I think that you play him. I think you play him with the idea of, I'm going in there and I'm going to wound your characters. Now, granted, he doesn't have like what Anakin has in that, I gain momentum, and I move the struggle when I eliminate one of your primary characters or anything like that. He's not doing it for the sake of the mission. He's doing it because he's in Vapad. He's in Vapad. He's got that amethyst blade, and he's walking the line between the light side and the dark side. Are you going to pair him with Vader? Or are you going to do it? He's killing in the name of, because he wants to. Dude, he's nuts. I don't know if he's going to be winning too many games, but I think he's going to be having a lot of fun while you're playing him. And he's Mace Windu, and I think one aspect that I really like about Shatterpoint is it's not really about who wins. It's about who has the most fun. Well, it's also about who wins. But having Mace Windu here is a big thing in the fun department. I know we've been wanting to get him in Legion for a really long time. And he looks awesome. He's going to be fun to paint. I love it. He's groovy as heck. And I can't wait. I just can't wait. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to see what kind of customs people come up with. I wonder if anybody will do some kind of like Pulp Fiction crossover or Deep Blue Sea and any kind of Samuel L. Jackson kind of crossover mods to their basing or to the model themselves, and to do any kind of fun stuff. So like there's, it's gonna be super cool. But I can't wait to see, and I do hope we see Mace Windu return, because I'm sorry, getting knocked out of a window and losing your hands means you're gonna have a bad day. But Jedi have survived things like that, and he's no ordinary Jedi. So I think he could have survived. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. That is going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. The spice must flow, and always make the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.